are the materials I'll be using in today's tutorial. I'm going to be using a 5.50mm hook, which is a US I9 hook. Then you're going to need a tape measure. This top is made to measure, so you're going to need to take your own measurements. Then you'll need 2 stitch markers. You'll need a darning needle to weave in your ends. You will need some pair of scissors to cut your strands. And for the yarn, I'm using this brand. I love this yarn in color Cherry Blossom. It's a size 4 yarn and it's 100% acrylic. It does recommend a 5.5mm hook, and as you can see here, it says US I9, and that's the exact hook I used. This is what's left from my third skein of yarn. Each skein is 199 grams, so do the math and see what's going to be enough for your size. This is for size large to XL. Yeah, with all that being said, what do you think of this top? Let me know in the comment section and let's dive into it. Let's get started, guys. So guys, for your foundation chain, you're going to make a chain and then you're going to place it across your shoulders depending on how long you want it to be. Mine is 120 chains and it's 28 inches long, and it is 3 inches before my elbow. Okay, and we are going to make 2 identical panels and then join them together, and then the bottom part is worked in rounds. We're going to start off with the slip knot. Insert the hook in that loop and you're going to make a chain in multiples of 4. For my top, I chained 120, but for this sample, I'm going to chain 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is my chain of 40, and after that you're going to yarn over and you're going to count 1, 2, 3 stitches from the hook, and in the 4th you're going to make a double crochet. I'm going to turn my chain around and work in the back bumps of the chain. Okay, so skip 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th you're going to make a shell of 2 double crochets. That's 1, 2, chain 2, and make 2 more double crochets in that same space or chain. So here we have this chain 3, which is going to count as a double crochet, and then we have 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the same space. Then you're going to yarn over and skip 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th you're going to make a double crochet. Skip 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th make a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all in the same chain. Skip 3, and in the next make 1 double crochet, and you're going to keep on alternating between a double crochet and a shell. All right, once you get to the end, you're going to make sure that you end with 1 double crochet. So skip 3, and in the last stitch place there just 1 double crochet, and that's how you complete your first row. Row 2, chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, turn your work and then you're going to yarn over and make a shell in the chain 2 space. 1, then you're going to yarn over and you're going to place a double crochet right on top of the next double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over. Usually I would go like under those 2 loops. Okay, here we go. Oh, usually we would go under these 2 loops, but when we do it like this, there is a way it leaves this big gap and I didn't like it, but you can still do it if that's okay with you. But I'm going to pick this next loop right here and I'm going to go under that like so and make a double crochet. You see the difference? After that, make a shell in the next chain 2 space. Next, make a double crochet on top of the next double crochet. Make a shell in the next chain 2 space. Double crochet right on top of the next stitch and repeat the pattern until you get to the end. When you get to the end, you're going to make sure you end with 1 double crochet on top of this last stitch. So yarn over and right on top of that third chain rather, make a double crochet. And that's how you end your second row, and that's the row that we're going to repeat over and over until we get our desired length. So I'm going to repeat and show you guys one more time, and then I'll take the measurements for my big piece for you guys before we continue. Row 3, chain 3 and turn. Remember to always start with a chain 3 and end with a double crochet. Okay, so chain 3 and make a shell in the chain 2 space. Then double crochet on top of the next double crochet from the previous row. Make a shell in the chain 2 space. Double crochet on top of the next stitch. Make a shell in the chain 2 space. And repeat this pattern across. All right, I have 1 stitch left and I'm placing there a double crochet to complete the row. And that's the pattern for this top. Now you're going to repeat those 2 rows until you get your desired length. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the measurements for my big piece, and then from there we're going to make 2 identical pieces, and then we'll continue with the pattern as I'll be showing you. All right, here is the big piece, guys, and I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 and 25. I'm now going to show you how wide it is, and this is 28 inches. Okay, 28 inches. And then the length here is 13 inches. All right, guys, so once you're done with your panels, they're going to be identical, and this is how they will look. These are two rectangles that we are now going to join the shoulders, and then we are going to be working on the bottom part to make it longer. Now we're going to join the shoulders like I mentioned earlier, and make sure you join your work from the wrong side. Now what we're looking at right now is the wrong side of my panels, and we are now going to join the shoulder on one side and on the other. The next thing we're going to do is mark the length that we want to join for the shoulder part. And for my case, I'm going to count the number of shell rows. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And on the 8th shell, I'm going to place there a stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I'm going to join this whole part, and we're leaving this middle part open, and as you can see, I quickly went ahead and joined this part. So we're going to join this one together. Make a slip knot. Make sure this gap is wide enough for your head. Okay, so I'm going to turn my work like so. Alright, so as you can see, this is where I have my stitch marker, and I'm going to take it out. Now you're going to insert your hook through the shell, not through this open stitch that we placed the 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets into, but just between the 2 clusters, and then you're going to go through both sides of your panels like so, and then you're going to pull through the loop, chain 1. I'm going to work over this strand, chain 1, and in that same space you're going to place there a single crochet. And next we have the chain spaces right here before the double crochets, and we are placing there 2 single crochets like so. Skip the double crochet stitch, and in the next chain space place there 2 single crochets, and then again when you get to the shells you're going to insert your hook through the 2 clusters here, make 1 single crochet, and the next chain 2 space, that was a 3 chain space, you place there 2 single crochets, and this is what you're going to repeat across. All right, this is my last shell, and then this is the last stitch space, and I will place in there 2 single crochets, and then through the stitch itself you're still inserting your hook in that stitch through both sides, make a single crochet, go back in that same stitch with a slip stitch, chain 1, get your scissors and cut off the yarn just like that, then pull tight, and there we have joined the shoulders. Okay, now this is what we have. Both sides have been joined. This is the wrong side, as you can see, the same, and this is the right side. All right, so once you're done with that, let me zoom out a little bit. Now we are going to mark where we want, the waist part to start from. And for my case, I'm going to count 5 shells from each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to place here my stitch marker. You can also leave out 3 shells depending on how big your waist area is, or depending on how big your panels are. Just leave enough space for your waist to fit in, and keep in mind that this is yarn, it is going to stretch a little bit. And then I'm going to count 5 from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I place here my stitch marker as well. Now this part that I have in the middle is going to be my waistline, and this part that we have, we're going to join this part together. Okay, so we have the sleeves here, and now this is going to be the waist. Okay, so remember, you have to turn your work to the right side now. Okay, so as you can see, this last row I was supposed to turn my work, so that means I'm going to insert my hook through this back panel and then work my way around. So insert your hook through the back. It doesn't matter where you really insert your hook, but just find the middle if you can. Okay, find the middle of your work. It can be through the double crochet or in the chain 2 space. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to start from here, get my yarn, then pull through the loop, chain 1, then chain 3, which will count as our first double crochet, yarn over, and in this same space make another double crochet, chain 2, 2 more double crochets in that same space, and then make a double crochet on top of the next stitch, just like before. Then make a shell in the next chain 2 space, and you're going to repeat like that until we get to the stitch marker, so I can show you guys how to work around that space. So when you get to the stitch marker, here is how we're going to work around that space. You are going to take out the stitch marker. This is the 2 chain spaces on both panels, so we are going to place 1 chain space in front of the other, like so that it can turn into 1, and we're going to go through that space and make a shell, and we're going through both chain 2 spaces and creating a shell right there. This is what you should get, and from there you are just going to continue with the pattern. This is how it looks. Now we make a double crochet on top of the next stitch, make a shell in the next chain 2 space, and then continue with the pattern until you get to the next chain 2 space, and I'll show you guys one more time how to work around that space. All right, again, when you get to the stitch marker, you're going to take it out, and then you're going to hold the chain 2 spaces together like this, putting one in front of the other so that it can turn into one, and go through both with a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in that same space, just like that. And then we continue with 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch, a shell in the next chain 2 space, once you make it to the end, you're just going to slip stitch on top of the 3rd chain. There, that's how you end the round. Now to start the next round, we need to slip stitch until we get to the chain 2 space. So slip stitch, and then you're going to slip stitch twice in this chain 2 space. 1, 2, then chain 3 rather. Turn your work. Remember to turn your work at the end of every round. And then you're going to yarn over and make your first shell. That's 2 stitches, chain 2, and make 2 more in that same space. Okay. All right, so this first chain is counting as our first double crochet. So after that, we are just going to continue with the pattern over and over until we get our desired length. I forgot to measure for you guys the measurement around the waist. This is 15.5 for me, and remember this is going to stretch, so it's perfect for my size. All right, I'm going to work my way around and show you guys how to start the row one more time, and then I'll do the rest of the camera. Once again, when you make it to the end, you're going to slip stitch on top of the chain 3, just like that. Then slip stitch on top of the next stitch and slip stitch twice in the chain 2 space, chain 3, and turn your work. And then you're going to start with your shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that same space, just like that. Then continue with the pattern. Make 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch, make a shell in the next chain 2 space, one double crochet on top of the next stitch, I'm going to keep on going until I get my desired length. If you want it shorter, you can definitely do that, have it as a crop top. We'll see how many rounds I end up making. I'll keep trying it on as I go until I feel comfortable with the length that I have. Then I'll be back so I can show you guys what to do next, okay? So I'll be back here shortly. All right, this is my last round. So I'm at the end of my round and I'm going to slip stitch on top of this chain 3 that we started with. Going to slip stitch right on top of the third stitch. Okay, then chain 1. Get your scissors and cut off the yarn. I have made 15 rounds for the bottom part. So 15 plus the 25 that we started with for the upper part, the total is 40 rows for the whole top. So my top is 20 inches starting from the neckline all the way to where I have stopped at. If you want to make it longer, you can simply go ahead and do that. You can even turn this into a dress if you keep going, because you know the stitch is quite stretchy, so it should work. You can turn this into a dress and I think it would be very beautiful. All right, so now that we have completed our last round, we are going to weave in our ends. So now the bottom part of our top is completely done. We're now going back to the upper part, because remember we need to join this part and we need to join this part as well. So again, I'm going to use the single crochet stitch. So make a slip knot, turn your work to the wrong side so we can join this part as well. And from the last stitch here, you're going to insert your hook through both sides of the top, pull through, chain 1, back in the same stitch, make a single crochet, and then you're going to make a single crochet on top of every stitch, making sure that you go through both stitches at the same time. When you get to the chain 2 space, you're going to place there 2 single crochets and then continue with 1 single crochet on top of every stitch until you get to the end. Alright guys, I went ahead and joined with single crochets. As you can see, and keep in mind to join from the wrong side as well. You're going to do the same thing on your second side of the sleeve, and you should have something like this. Now I want us to make a single crochet row around the neckline because I don't like how loose it is. So get your yarn, we're using the same hook, make a slip knot, and you can attach your yarn anywhere. Pull through the loop and chain 1 to secure it. Then in that same space, go back with a single crochet, and then you're going to make single crochets in every space. Okay, make 2 single crochets in every space. That's 2 single crochets. In the next right here, we make 2 single crochets. When you get to the shell space right here, Don't go through this loop, just go between the two clusters. So insert your hook in there and make a single crochet. Then make 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets in the next space, then 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets in the next space, and you're going to repeat this pattern all around the neckline. And once you make it to the end, you're going to make a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet you made. So slip stitch, chain 1, get your scissors and cut off the end, leaving a long tail that you can weave in. So pull tight, get a darning needle, and we're just going to weave in this extra strand. And that's it, guys. I want to say thank you guys for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section and I'll be able to respond. And happy crocheting. Bye.